Is Matthew Lillard getting ready to film Scream 7? Let's talk about it.
Certain rules. Push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sydney.
He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've done a Scream 7 video, but today let's talk about Matthew Lillard and his potential return to Scream 7. As you guys know, I am a Stu believer. I do 100% believe Stu Macher will return in Scream 7. There are tons of clues that point towards this. If you're new here, definitely check out some of my past videos on this. But Matthew Lillard did a recent interview where he said something that makes me think he could be getting ready to film Scream 7. Filming does start in just a couple days in Atlanta, Georgia. I believe January 7th is when it starts, the filming for Scream 7. So obviously that is very soon. And then I think they're filming for 2 to 3 months. I believe filming wraps in March. Now, of course, if Matthew Lillard does return, he most likely will only be in the final act of the movie. So he doesn't even need to start filming in January along with a lot of the main cast. He can start filming in like February, you know? He probably is going to play a little bit of a smaller role because I imagine he won't be revealed until the final act. But let's get into this little interview. It was with Bleeding Cool just a few days ago. He said, "I'm on a plane right now, headed to New Orleans to finish up my work on Five Nights at Freddy's, which comes out next December." Then he mentions Life of Chuck and a show called Cross that he has coming out. And then he says, "I've got a film and another series lined up for 2025. So 2 things in this interview make me think he could be gearing up to film Scream 7. Number 1 is he is wrapping on Five Nights at Freddy's very soon. He literally was on the plane during this interview to finish up his work on Five Nights at Freddy's. I did talk about this in a bunch of past videos way back in the fall. You know, Stu believers out there were worried that he wasn't going to be able to film Scream 7 at the same time as Five Nights at Freddy's, but both of these movies were moved around a bunch. Both of them had their filming delayed. I do think a big reason that Scream 7's filming was delayed, other than, you know, the whole casting fiasco and script rewrites, I do think a big part of that was also to accommodate Matthew Lillard's schedule. So Five Nights at Freddy's 2 started filming in the fall. It is wrapping up as we speak. And then, you know, shortly after that, he's going to start filming Scream 7. The second thing in this interview that makes me think Scream 7 is he says, "I've got a film lined up for 2025. Obviously, he doesn't say what film that is. It could be Scream 7. When it comes to Scream 7, he would never say that he is going to be in this movie. He even said that himself. You guys know that he likes to tease us a lot. He's kind of back and forth. Like, for years, he was saying, "Stu's alive, I'm coming back one day." In the past year or so, he's kind of changed his tune where he says like, I don't know if I'll be in it. I don't know if I'm coming back. And I think that is because he is coming back. So he, of course, can't keep saying, "Yes, I am alive and I am coming back." That would give away the biggest plot twist in the franchise. Plus, in one of his most recent little interviews about Stu Macher's return, I think this was at Comic-Con, you know, just a few months ago. Or I think it was actually at New York Comic Con in, what was it, September? He talked about it and he said, even if I was in the movie, I would lie straight to your faces up until the day it comes out.
No, I am not in the movie, and even if I was, I would lie direct to your face. Directly to your face. Until the day it came out, I would just lie to you.
Which is obviously true. Like I said, he's not going to say, "Yeah, guys, guess what? I'm gonna be in Scream 7. He's not allowed to say that if he is. And that is not the only time that Matthew Lillard has said that he would lie to us, that even if he was in the movie, he wouldn't tell us. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up this little interview. I think there are a couple of hints within this quote from him. Five Nights at Freddy's wraps very soon, and he has a movie lined up for 2025. Now, you guys know I think Stu Macher is going to return leading a cult of ghost faces. I also think we could possibly see Leslie Macher in Scream 7, his sister, which I think could potentially be played by Anna Camp. I talk about this a little bit more in my most recent Scream 7 video. I will link that for you guys if you want to check out a little bit more detail on my Stu and Leslie Macher theory. Now, there is a rumor out there that Scream 8 is already in development. We don't know if this is true, it is just a rumor, but it did come from Daniel Rickman on Twitter, and he tends to be a reliable source. He has been right about a lot of big things in the past. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's right about this, but I just want to bring up that this is a rumor out there. Again, I did mention this in a previous video, but just in case there's any new viewers here, Scream 8 might already be in development, and this kind of lines up with an earlier rumor that they are working on a new trilogy, a Sidney-focused trilogy. That would mean that 7, 8, and 9 would be this new Sidney-focused trilogy. Now, we do know that Sidney's daughter, at least one of them, is going to be one of the main characters in Scream 7. And they could be doing that to set up the trilogy. Maybe, maybe this is going to be Sidney's final movie. We don't know. And it's going to focus on her daughter moving forward in 8 and 9. Now, obviously, this new trilogy of Scream 5, 6, and 7 was supposed to focus on Sam Carpenter. Obviously, that has been thrown out the window. So now that Sam is no longer the focus, I feel like the creators figure the focus has to be Sidney related. It has to be her daughter as the focus rather than just some other random person. So I definitely could see them having Sidney's daughter as the main focus for this new trilogy in 7, 8, and 9. But if Scream 8 is already in development and they are kind of planning out this trilogy, I hope that Scream 7 ends on a cliffhanger, with Stu getting away with it at the end so that we can get him in a full movie in Scream 8. Not only bringing back a past killer would be something new and different, but so would ending on a cliffhanger. That is something that has never been done before in the Scream franchise. Ghostface has never gotten away with it to then lead us into the next movie. That would be something fresh for the franchise. And if it's going to be any Ghostface who survives, I hope it's Stu. Like I said earlier in the video, I don't think he'll be revealed until the final act of 7. So if he gets away with it and 7 ends on a cliffhanger, then we can get him in a full movie in Scream 8. Now, another option for Stu's return plus a cliffhanger is to not even reveal him in 7 at all, but to end 7 on a cliffhanger where Sidney gets a phone call and they say one of Stu's classic lines. Maybe it ends with Sidney picking up and Ghostface says,
"Surprise, Sidney."
Or,
I always had a thing for you, Sid!
Something that Stu said in the first movie and then just end the movie so that the audience will, be speculating and thinking that was Stu on the phone and he's gonna come back and Scream 8. Now, I would much prefer Stu to actually be revealed in 7 because I feel like I've been waiting decades at this point because he was supposed to come back in Scream 3. I would much rather see him actually be revealed in 7, but, I'll take the other option. If they don't actually reveal him but kind of leave us with a little clue at the end that he's going to show up in 8, I will take that. That is better than nothing. That is better than Stu not coming back at all. It could almost kind of be like at the end of The Dark Knight when, Batman gets the Joker card, so we kind of know that the Joker is going to show up in the next movie. Something like that, like a little Stu calling card to set up the next movie. That is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Are you a Stu believer? Do you want Stu Macher to return in Scream 7, leading a cult of ghost faces, going after Sidney and her daughter? and Gale Weathers. And what do you think about this little interview from Matthew Lillard? Do you think these are little hints that he is getting ready to start filming Scream 7 soon? Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Make sure you turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on future Scream 7 posts. Any updates that we get, you can expect to be posted on the channel. I imagine we are going to be getting lots of updates soon since filming starts in just a couple of days. I imagine we are going to get set photos before we know it, but hopefully there are no leaked photos with Matthew Lillard on set. I want to be completely surprised when I sit down in that chair in the movie theater on premiere night. I do not want to see any leaked photos from set with Matthew Lillard. Hopefully they can keep this under wraps, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But thanks again, and I will see you guys next time.